Darlings, today I want to talk about a delightful new dimension that I've discovered to my abandonment issues. So I've probably talked about this before. My father left when I was a baby, and that always left a little or a big wound in my psyche because logically I know that there's nothing wrong that I could have done that made him leave. It was on him. But there's still that part of me that's like, nope, you're leavable. You're just crap. And nobody wants to be with you because you're just messed up. Like, yeah, you have problems. Nobody wants you. That I'm like broken as a human being. And people sense that. But so the delightful new wrinkle or dimension or whatever, the little extra flair to it, I realize, is the thought that I will be left, like I'll be abandoned, but for somebody else. Or maybe something else. And I was kind of diving into that and trying to figure out, where does this come from? What's this thing I've discovered about myself? And when I was looking back, my first boyfriend, I live in Minnesota, moved from Pennsylvania to Minnesota to be with me. How very sweet. And then he promptly left me for a coworker who was kind of like an odd woman. At the time, I didn't know I was bisexual, but she was. And she was like, ooh, if he ever messes anything up, you come find me. I'll take care of you. And I was just like, oh no. Like, my chair is very, very loud. I was very shook by that. Anyway, so that happened, and that made me sad, and I didn't like that. And then I dated a dude. It was like a son of a friend of my mom or something, and he was maybe 20 or a little bit younger, and he left me for a lady who lives in Arkansas who was 40 years old at the time. That was nice. That felt good. Then I had a boyfriend that really loved video games. Like, I could walk by naked and he would not care. He'd just be like, oh, okay, whatever. That was not great. Then I had another boyfriend where our baggage just did not work well. That was explosive in a bad way. So I didn't leave. But he wasn't the nicest. And so my head took that as, well, you're not worth people being nice to you. That's fun. And then there's my ex-husband. And we just were like, we shouldn't have gotten married in the first place, because I didn't really know who I was at the time. That wasn't. That's why self-discovery is important, friends. Know yourself before you get married. But he really did like video games. Probably to escape me, because... No, that's not fair. I'm sure it wasn't to escape me. But it did... Yeah, it was not the greatest feeling, because I thought he preferred them to me. So... yeah, good times there. And then there's somebody else that I had liked for a very long time. And then we were going to date, and they're like, just kidding, I'm going to date this person I've known for a month. And I was like, oh, that doesn't hurt very badly that you're picking that person over me. Cool, I get it, because this is a thing that happens. And so, yeah, it's just the big woo. I realized, I'm like, yep, not only am I leavable, I'm leavable for other people because they are better. And so this is a big wound that I've just been wrestling with lately. And one of the things that's hard is, like, I hate that part of me because it's a weakness. And hating any part of yourself is very unhealthy. And so I've been trying to work on figuring out, what is that part doing for me, and how can I thank it, and how can I acknowledge that it's trying to help, and be like, okay, well, this isn't the most helpful way of doing things, so let's maybe find a kinder way. And I think it's that part of me is trying to help me not be hurt by constantly looking out for patterns, by saying, hey, this happened before, let's be really mindful to watch that it doesn't happen again. But yeah, like I said, it's not a helpful thought. It's a very painful thought. And I would like to work on getting rid of it. And so I've been trying to challenge it a bit more. And when it comes up, to say, well, yeah, those relationships didn't work, but relationships don't work sometimes. They don't work most of the time. You keep trying until you find a relationship that does work. And so it wasn't, and everyone has their faults, but it's not that there's something just so remarkably wrong with me that everyone's just like, peace. So yeah, I've definitely been thinking about that and working through it and trying to get over that fear, because it's not healthy, it's not attractive, and I don't like it. And so I'm hoping by talking about it, one, if you feel the same way, that you are not alone, and two, that I can get it out. When we shine light on those dark, gross parts of ourselves, it seems like it helps make them a little bit smaller, or a lot bit smaller. So hopefully it'll get better over time, especially as I work on showing myself kindness and reminding myself that I have a lot of really good qualities, and that I'm a good person, and that I'm not broken. So yes, okay, all right, bye.